I wanted to do a video on the carnivore diet, just to give people a heads up on it. I'm not going to do like a lot of people do on YouTube, say subscribe and all that. I probably will only do this one video on carnivore. But I'm 71 years old, and I have some things to talk about on carnivore. Um, uh, about 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and they said something about prediabetes, and I was not supposed to do too much salt, and they said it was uncurable, which is probably true. And but I didn't take that advice very seriously until January 11th of 2022. I had a of horrible problems of my health. I was drowning, and I went to the hospital, which for me is unusual, and I'm a very poor patient. Um, Luckily, my wife was with me because I'm just mad. By the time I enter the hospital, I'm mad. Not because they're not nice people, not trying to help me and all that stuff, but I'm just angry. So I feel like I'm trapped. And anyway, so I went into the hospital, and I had a lot of fluid that had accumulated, and they did a bunch of tests, and they gave me some diuretic, very extreme diuretic. I had been taking diuretics for those 8 years with a congestive heart failure, kind of a milder one, but they gave me a very heavy diuretic, and I lost 50 pounds of fluid in 24 hours. And within just 2-3 hours, I was able to breathe better. But long story short, it just scared the crap out of me. I wanted to make some changes. I didn't really know what to do. Like the congestive heart failures, they say incurable, but I kind of like um, my philosophy, at least my family's philosophy is, do something even if it's wrong. So I had been watching Dr. Sean Baker and Dr. Ken Berry a little bit, and although I couldn't really see how carnivore might relate to the congestive heart failure and the problems I was having, I just had to do something. So that evening, I started eating just meat, and then drinking just water. Um, I wasn't super strict in the beginning. It took me a little while to learn a little bit about it, but I I had been drinking maybe 3 44-ounce Diet Cokes a day. My diet was standard American crap diet. Um, I thought vegetables were really great for you, so I just pounded the vegetables. I liked them. Of course, I thought bread was really good too, so I'd always eat a lot of bread. And I'd gotten in some really bad habits. I would go get chocolate coated pretty much every night. It was pretty good. And then I also have sleep apnea, so because of that, I chew gum at night that keeps my mouth moist. I know that's kind of weird, but I was chewing this soft gum. I can't even remember the brand of it, but and that worked for me. It took me several months actually to find out that it had sugar in it. I was actually getting about 25 grams of sugar each night, and so I didn't see perfect results or anything. But on that hospital visit, they did my A1C. It was 8.1. Um, they, obviously confirmed that that was flat out diabetes. And I kind of internalized that to be real, which I'd put that in the back of my mind all my life. I've always been a big guy, still am for sure, but some changes have happened. Um, I had BPH, that's where your prostate is enlarged and urination is different. In 2002, I got to my highest extreme weight and was confronted with that, and I lost 125 pounds on Weight Watchers in 1 year, and that helped some. And since 2002, I've been working out, an average of 5 times a week, a lot of cardio, a little bit of lifting, but I've been pretty faithful on the working out, and I enjoy it. Didn't see super results, but I know it was good for me and all that. Let's see. I've been able to keep off 80 pounds of that weight since 2002. I did gain a little bit of it back. I got down to a weight that I really couldn't sustain. I got down to 245 for me, and I couldn't eat anything without gaining weight. I mean, absolutely nothing, and that was unsustainable for me. So I slowly, started eating a little bit and gaining a little bit and all that. But like I said, I kept about 80 pounds off in that time. So I started on this carnivore diet, no vegetables, um, you know, maybe a helping the first month or something like that, but basically no vegetables, um, zero bread. I had loved bread, but that was an easy thing to cut out. Um, I had loved sugar, of course. I've been a sugar guy my whole life, but I just decided in my head that I could either eat sugar and go back into the hospital like I'm underwater drowning, or I could quit eating sugar and maybe do something about it. I didn't know if it would really help, but I still started out. First 6 weeks, kind of some rough go with it, some diarrhea, etc. Um, Maybe a little bit low energy. I don't. I get up every day and work for a living, and I've been faithful on that. But um, took about 6 weeks. Took about a month for the BPH to completely go away. I had been taking Flomax medication, and it's completely not needed. It's gone. BPH is absolutely gone. Then I've continued on this pattern, getting more and more faithful to the carnivore way of eating for 11 months. I had found out, as I said, about that gum, and I cut that sugar out, and that seemed to help a little bit. I eat primarily beef, ribeye. I eat a ribeye every morning. I usually eat 6 to 7. If I can get them jumbo eggs, I like the bigger eggs every morning for breakfast, and then after that, for kind of a break time for me, I'll have like a half a stick of butter. I like that. It's very soothing, and to me, it's like a comfort thing. I couldn't even believe I could eat butter, but I watched that steak and butter gal, and she was talking about it, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't eat butter, but I started eating butter a little bit a day, not a lot. Um, then in the evening time, I will do another. Primarily, my meat of choice is a big ribeye. If I can get something around the 18 to 20 ounce range, that's what I prefer. I can't always like the second one of the day, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can eat the whole thing. Not that it's not good. I look forward to every meal I have, but I just get to where it's just, thing. And then in the evening time, if I need a little something, sometimes I like a little bit something with a small amount of sweetness to it. I'll have a little bit of that. It's a yogurt, but it has two carbs of sugar in it. So um, two carbs, pretty low in sugar. And the one I use is called Keto. I get at Walmart, and I like that in the evening. And then, so some of the results of what has happened is my diabetes. I wear a C. Can you even see it? Yeah, I wear a CGM, and I can. And my 3 months in, I had my A1C tested, and it was 5.8. I haven't had my A1C since then, but as I watch my CGM, if it's accurate, I think it's pretty accurate, um, and 115 average. Of course, every day it fluctuates a little bit, which is kind of weird because I eat the same thing every day. I don't know why it fluctuates, but anyway, that's clearly 5.5 or under, I'm assuming. And so that has completely normalized my diabetes. Um, then some of the other results, kind of weird. I've lost 15 pounds, which in 11 months, that's certainly not a lot of weight loss. But I have never even once been hungry. I just, I'm getting all I want to eat. I can't eat anymore. My wife's a great cook on desserts and all of that. And I feel really bad because it's kind of hard. She's very understanding, but it's still not pleasant on our relationship because she wants to do things for me. And um, I don't eat sweets anymore. I'm not even tempted. They make me sick to think about them. I tried getting about a week ago, I got a sugar-free soda. And like I said, I was drinking, more than a gallon of soda a day for my whole life. And I got a sugar-free Sprite, I think it was. I couldn't get past one swallow of that. The carbonation just was really rough on me. Um, but it doesn't make me sad. But another some results is my workouts have completely changed. I do much more lifting. I lift every other day. I was going to the local gym, but it was very busy with high school students. I never had a problem with any of the kids there. Great people, but there's so many of them. I was unable to get on the equipment, sometimes in a timely manner. And it's the one that was Vasa here in Utah. It's a pretty crappy gym. I've been members of many gyms in my life, and it's pretty crappy, but it's close by. And anyway, so finally I decided I put a gym in um, my basement. I used one of those cable machines. I have a rower. I have a air bike. I have dumbbells. I've started kettleballing, which I call them the torture devices, but I've started kettleballing in the last month, and I think it's helped. But oh my gosh, those things can freaking kill you. If you see Sean Baker's video on his gym, my gym looks really, really similar to that. Although I don't have those heavy where he can do the deadlifts, very, very heavy weights. Um, a couple of side notes. I was a meat cutter in my previous life, and I had a pretty substantial back injury and had to retire in the mid 90s. And I'm afraid to just deadlift that kind of weight. I was lifting a front quarter that weighed about 235 across a parking lot that was iced over, and I slipped, but I didn't fall, but I could hear my back vertebrae rupturing. It sounded like a 22 going off. But anyway, so I don't do those things. But as long as I'm moving, that has been the other motivation for me to exercise. Um, as long as I'm exercising, my back stays okay. I never did have surgery. I had a doctor, a local doctor here, Dr. Stadler, that really didn't want to do surgeries unless you had you lost nerve function, bowel function, or sexual function. I didn't have any of those issues, so he would never operate. Didn't want to operate. I'd go in and I'd be a little bit in a spasm, and I'd go in and I'd say I'm hurting, and he'd look at me. He was kind of a funny guy. He says, "What do you want me to do about it?" And I'd kind of sheepishly look at him. He says, "Tell me about your exercise program." And I'd say, "Well, I hadn't been doing as good as I should, or whatever." And he says, "Well, I can give you a temporary shot that will relieve that, but remember that only you can fix this." And so he would give me a shot, and I would straighten up and walk right out of there, no problem. So I wanted to talk about another benefit of carnivore that's really weird to me. So I mentioned about 15 pounds in 11 months. I want to stand up and hopefully not gross you out because I'm an old man and all that stuff. But um, I, up until 2 months ago, I was wearing 100% all 3X clothes. Everything I owned was 3X. Waist size was 44 mostly, a few 42s, but 44s and 42s, all shirts, all coats, all of that was 3X. Well, I can't wear 3X anymore. I just swim in them. Um, I had to completely swap out my entire wardrobe except for my shoes. And it's not the greatest looking shirt. It's one of those, what do they call them? There's a soft material that but it's very comfortable. But I'm here at work. I work out of my house. But I just wanted to show you, like I said, not trying to gross you out, but I've had some gains on my lifting, which I never had before. Um, I feel much better. My sleep, um, I just sleep like a rock. Still have sleep apnea, but what's weird is I've noticed I dream all the time. I just can't sleep without dreaming anymore. I sleep deep, deep sleep. I do get about 5 to 6 hours at night of sleep, and it's very sound. I'm very well rested in the morning, but I've always been a person that takes a nap in the afternoons after work, and still do that. Still lay down for an hour and wake up. I'm very refreshed when I do, but that's just been kind of a habit I've had. So I get probably a total of 7.5 hours of sleep a day. Sometimes up to 8. Sometimes I sleep 8 hours. See what other benefits have I had. Oh, as far as all that diarrhea and all that weird stuff, totally after maybe 8 weeks at the most, completely went away. I don't eat any no vegetables, no roughage, no bread, no sugar. Um, my bathroom situation is very comfortable. No pain. Just, it's actually wonderful. And then the other benefit that I've mentioned before is I'm never hungry. I've been a slave to food my entire life. I always felt like I was hungry. I had to eat, and an hour later, I wanted to go eat again, and I would look through the cupboards and find something completely inappropriate. Oreos, ice cream, chips, dip, whatever. But I don't do that anymore. I eat I guess if you called some yogurt at night another meal, I guess you would say 3 meals. Sometimes it's only two. Sometimes I just can't make the three. But anyway, I wanted to give you that update. I'm going to post this and um, hopefully, and if you have a comment, put a comment. Don't be mean because I'm an old guy. I'm just doing what I can do. And hopefully this will help somebody that's gone through similar things that this might help. It might not. I mean, I've been a big follower of all the channels and see people and they eliminate and some of them eliminate fantastic things, with the carnivore diet. Um, it's great for them if it happens, but I know there's a lot of people that don't see the same results. I've got close loved ones and relatives that are having, issues common to people our age, and I sometimes I'll lightly mention, but mostly nobody wants to listen. They think you're crazy. But like these guys that have prostrate problems, I mean, absolutely eliminated with carnivore. I never did have eczema or anything. Um, I'm not a person that ever really burned in the sun, but now I just, I could be in the sun with no shirt. I don't do that, of course, but let's say it was. I could be in the sun, blazing sun all day, all night, all next day. It doesn't matter. I don't get burned ever. And it's little better than it used to be. I never burned a lot, but um, anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll post this up and see what you guys think.